women need to be connected to their bodies and their minds and their hearts simultaneously, so we could make the right choices and decisions for our family.
He's been brain dead for 10 days. Even if he were to come back alive, he can't do anything. Well, now he's a speaker about all this and everything, and they're tying everything together.
It's not that I was ungrateful, it's just it was missing that God energy, like that connection. I have to still do my healing work. I had to come back and do so much healing work. I still do certain things. So when there's like a trigger in my mind about, I can't believe I exposed my daughters, I can't believe I stayed here.
CEO in motion. CEO in motion. CEO in motion. CEO in motion.
And we are live. Not really live, but
It's live.
live on Facebook. No, I'm just kidding. Angie, welcome to the CEO in Motion Podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Cheers to our Starbucks
Cheers.
bevies. I know you don't drink that much. This is my first time doing this, and like, they gave me this big ass eye, so we'll see how this goes. Excited to have you. This is running, so this will turn off so you can always see yourself in there.
Oh, nice.
If you need to see it again, like, you can just tap the back of the screen, it'll pop up. As long as you see the light flashing, we should be good.
That means we're
We're filming, yeah. You might want to speak up too. I mean, there's a microphone, but they can
Speak
hear.
up, be loud.
You can move your seat up whenever you want. This is your show today.
Awesome.
Let's go. All right, so welcome back to Las Vegas.
Yes, I love it. I'm happy to be back. I have all of my, my go-to spots. Feels good.
You were just telling me, like, how about your nails? You got a new nail lady?
Yes, I found this spot that is open late night.
Okay.
So I just put my baby to sleep, go get my nails done. Perfect.
It's very nice. Yeah, they're open late. Like, there's always something in Vegas that's 24 hours, so
Yes.
it's very good. Wow. Sunset is really like,
Yes.
it's still bright. It's like 7 p.m. already. So yeah, so you were in Miami, now you're in Vegas.
Yes.
Why don't you introduce yourself, mention your IG handle, what you do for business, and then your purpose here in life.
Yes, I love it. Okay. So my name is Angie. I'm a theta healing instructor, and I recently got my certification in science-based parenting. So I pair the two together to help people heal their inner child, and that is my purpose. That's tied into my purpose, because of course I was in very toxic relationships. I just got out of one, and not only that, I've learned that I had to heal my own inner child, so that way I can attract somebody with emotional intelligence, because let's put it that way, we need that in order to have longevity in a relationship. And it hits so close to home for me because I had my son when I was 15. I got pregnant at 14, had him at 15. My
Wow.
family did not have any of those, any of the tools. And so of course I was repeating the patterns of whatever they were teaching me. So I was not the best mom to him, and he had developed a lot of kind of like narcissistic personality traits. But it's
tendencies?
Tendencies. And if I knew what I know now, he would not be in the state that he's in. Like, he's in a lot of trouble, and he's like troubled. And in his childhood, in our family, we've experienced a lot of abuse, mental, emotional, and sexual abuse. So, it's a reflection of his life, but because nobody had the emotional intelligence to really nurture him. So that's why I'm so passionate about this purpose of mine, because not only did it break my heart in so many different ways, I can help the mom that I was before, and that's what I'm here for.
I love it. You said so much, and I could go in so many directions. Theta healing. So we'll start with, you mentioned that like your heart had to be broken in order for you to achieve your purpose. See, I am of the belief that most people like miracles, but they don't want to go through what requires to go through a miracle, which is the hard part. So now that you're on this side and that you are seeing your purpose, what do you want to say to someone who's at the beginning? What would you say to Angie when she was 15 years old?
right now, I feel like I would say just embrace it. When you feel like your back's against the wall in every direction in your life, embrace it, because that means like there's this change happening within you, and that person that you have to become is what's required to reach your purpose and to fulfill your purpose. It's literally character building.
How did you get started? And explain for those of us who don't know what theta healing is. Give us like a crash course of what that is.
Okay, perfect. So I've always wanted to heal. I've always been into like the crystals, Reiki, tarot. I studied so many different religions because I can feel that spirit and I can feel energy. So I was curious. And funny story, I was interviewing a babysitter, and she's like, Angie, I see you have crystals and all these books. You have to go to this guy named Chris. He's a theta healer. And I'm like, okay, of course, yeah, I'm gonna go. Like I go to anyone somebody recommends me, especially if it's in the metaphysical world.
Did you know what it was?
No.
What a theta healer was?
I had no idea.
So what is a theta healer?
So theta healing is healing that's done on a subconscious level. So you're able to identify through like a process called belief work. We identify limiting beliefs, and these beliefs are beliefs that are keeping us safe, even though they're limiting. And in order to release it, we need to find the learning and serving. And we are all here to grow our levels of consciousness, and the way that we do that is by mastering and attaining virtues. So it's just a big process, but I love how it ties in science and spirituality, because in order to do the healing process, you have to go into a theta state.
Oh, you're speaking my language. I love science.
And it's so quick.
And I love spirituality.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. So, really quickly, I have to tell this story because it was so funny.
Yeah.
I ended up going to this guy to do a theta healing session, right? And it was on like my daughter's father at the time. And he was telling me that I obligated this man to do these things and this and that. And I was like, I walked out, I was like, that was not a healing. I am not going back there. I had like a little, this didn't feel good. I wanted to feel good. I wanted a healing.
It was not healing. It was the opposite.
He told me I obligated him to do these things in my life, and I didn't understand at the time because I wasn't at that level of awareness to really comprehend what he was saying. So I kept learning about, like, I kept searching, you know, on my journey of, and I was, who would I listen to all the time? Dr. Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, and I kept hearing like the word theta, and it was like theta subconscious. So I was like, I'm gonna go back to that guy. So I went back to the guy who I was like, he told me I obligated him. I was, you know, being sassy.
How long after?
Maybe 4 years after.
Wow, so you held up that grudge for like 4 years.
Yeah, and I love him now, by the way. He's like, I love him so much. He's my dear friend.
There you go.
So I went back and I did the whole theta healing session, and I was like, oh my gosh, everything clicked, and I was like, will you teach me everything you know? And we like looked at each other in the eyes. He's like, yes. It was so cool.
Well, that's awesome.
But what I understood was, yes, I did obligate my daughter's father to do whatever less than desirable life experience, because we create our reality, and we're doing that with our own beliefs and programs. And believe it or not, it's been scientifically proven that we carry up to 800 years of beliefs within our DNA, like the memory of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
From our ancestors.
Yeah, and collective consciousness beliefs, like so many things. So
we're all intertwined.
Yeah. So can you imagine if you're like, that's why theta healing is so powerful, but it's like people don't realize it yet, because it's kind of hard to comprehend at first. You're like, wait, what? I'm just kind of really, they're stuck in this reality. This part of their life is really big, instead of like, hold on, let me look at life on a soul level. What did my ancestors have to overcome for me to be here?
On a meaningful level.
Yeah.
Because the outside is not really what matters. And I'm sure since you heard Joe Dispenza, he talks about that your personality is your personal reality, and you start seeing things on the outside and you assume that that's what it is, but really it's the soul.
Yeah. Yeah.
We laugh a lot. I mean, we laugh and we're like, laughter is that universal language of the soul. Like, it's just,
You have the best laugh. You always, but you haven't laughed like your usual laugh yet.
Yeah, well, something's gonna come up where I'm gonna like just burst out laughing, because I get the comments. I get the comments of people.
It's so contagious. Yeah. I love it. When I'm feeling like in a little mood, I'm like, I go on. Yeah. And I would just watch you laugh.
Just watch my reels. I laugh quite often. So so tell me about the work that requires. Is it painful? Is it long? Is it through a period of 3 months, 6 months, 3 sessions? Like,
No,
walk me through the process.
So theta healing is actually, it's done instantly. The healing is instant. So I walk somebody up to the 7th plane of existence, which is the energy of creation. And
you are like
when they're in that
my language.
Yeah. So when they're in that state and you connect up to the energy, the creator of all that is, or God, you command that the healing take place, and it's done instantly. So the healing is dependent on how much you open your heart up to God, and that's really it. So the healing depends on you. Like if you're like surface level, not really talking about what really hurts and what really matters, it's going to be a surface level healing. But if you're like, listen, I want to end this, I want to complete whatever lesson this is, show me what I'm supposed to learn, show me what I'm learning from this. You could dig down and you find what it is, and I'll share with you what I did for my previous relationship, because it was very toxic and crazy, and I kept going back and forth and giving chances and all these crazy things. But I was like, okay, there is enough abuse, and there's no reason for anyone to stay if they're being abused mentally, emotionally, or psychologically. Any abuse, you gotta go. So
preach it.
Yes.
Preach it, Angie.
You can't stay. It's not going to get better. It's only going to get worse, especially if they don't want to do the healing work.
It's the boiling frog effect, where people just stay and stay, and it just gets getting worse, until the frog just boils over because you just kept turning up the temperature.
Yeah. You know what the other thing is too? I literally felt dehydrated. Like I would drink water, drink my
there you go. That's why I got you some of it. Oh.
So I felt dehydrated, and I was like, no, I wasn't like physically dehydrated, I was spiritually dehydrated, because I wasn't around someone who was like emanating the like God energy and virtues. And I'm not saying like somebody has to read the Bible every day and be religious at church, but to really emanate what they preach, or like the more that I love and accept myself, the more that I love and accept you, those type of energies. And bringing God into the relationship is important, but because if not, it's going to dehydrate you, and you'll realize it, especially if you're somebody who has a close connection with God and you have a purpose aligned with God. It will, like I had insomnia, I would have night terrors.
It robbed you of your essence.
Yes,
and
exactly.
There, especially like the first thing you said is that your purpose is to heal, which means to me that you're empathetic, that you care about people's emotions, that you care about other people and their well-being, that you're not just you care for people's soul. Yeah. And when someone is not at that level, what they do is that they take it out of you. They call them energy vampires. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely, I mean, when you think about it, we're all extensions of creation. So if you pray to God every day, you ask for things, you feel guidance, you feel blessed for all the things that you have, why would you disrespect God and break someone's spirit? Like, you're disrespecting someone who provides everything for you, even your own life. So creator. Yeah, but I mean, we're human, because of course I've judged and criticized, said my things to people, because we're imperfect. But I'm trying to learn and grow every day and realize, okay, if I want to ascend, if I want my soul to ascend and grow my levels of consciousness, I have to be able to, I have to be like, if they're crucifying me, bless them, God bless you. I forgive you for what you don't know, but I have the tools to understand what I need to learn from this so that I can grow my levels of consciousness, and just leave it at that. I like that, that when you're feeling resentful towards somebody, or somebody did you wrong, that the best thing to do is to pray for that person, because that's how you liberate them, and that's how you liberate yourself from that emotional attachment. How do you go up in consciousness levels? Oh, okay. So I mean, if we weren't driving, I would do it right now, but oh my god, I'll pull over. Park. Yeah, you want to park? Yeah. Oh, I mean, we'll do it at the end of it. Okay. Do we need to film it? Yeah. We'll film it? Yeah. It'll be fun. And then you guys can try the meditation, because it's beautiful. I'm telling you. So what this meditation does, it walks you through the 7 planes of existence, and it literally activates your kundalini instantly. Oh my god, you talk about the kundalini. Yeah, it's so amazing. Because I like this woman, she created this woman, her name is Diana Steibel, and she created this modality, and they did all the studies on it, and she can instantly get people into kundalini within
seconds. Once you keep practicing, you get deeper and deeper into theta, and everything's activated. But going back to resentment, any energy of resentment or betrayal or anger, it takes up such a big energetic charge within your subconscious mind, so you don't have as clear of a connection with your own intuition. So if you want,
like it blocks you.
Yeah, because it's clouded, because you're having all these crazy thoughts that are like a lower vibration. And so that's what theta healing is as well. It's an intuitive development tool. You heal those resentments, you grow your levels of consciousness, and you're good. And one of the best practices every day is just to go up and ask for God's understanding of whatever it is that you're going through.
How does somebody know when you're asking God whether God is responding or whether it's oneself coming up with the answer?
I mean, I think it takes practice to really discern, like, because there's different parts of your, like, there's the higher self, like there's an aspect of yourself that's all knowing, and then there's God, and then there's, if you're very sensitive, there's different angels and different energies that can kind of communicate with you, right? But when you're in a theta state, and you know that you're in a theta state, and you connect up to the creator, and you make the command, it's commanded to connect to the creator of all that is, and you ask for something, you will have this knowing. And it's like it's a skill that you develop where you'll just know this came from creator. Sometimes people get the chills. Sometimes I smile, like when I get little, like even if it's something somebody's talking about something like it's like a it's not like a good thing, and I'm like, they're like, oh, this happened, and it's like a horrible life experience, and I'm smiling because I know the lesson, and I'm like, oh, that's so beautiful. You have no idea your soul is about to be released, but I'm smiling, and
they don't get it yet.
One of my instructors was like, Angie,
what's so funny? Yeah.
Why are you smiling right now? You hold it off. Wait till you give her the healing. I'm like, but I can already see it. It's beautiful.
You already know the path that they're going, so you know where it's gonna take them, and it's good. Yeah. It feels good.
It feels so good to be able to be there for people, especially like we all suffer from things that, well, there's a lot of people that suffer from things and they don't really speak about it because maybe it's too hard, or they just don't trust anybody to speak about it, or what's going to happen, there's no outcome from it, or they don't know how to heal themselves. Because recently I've just met so many beautiful people, like beautiful souls that have been through so much, but they haven't learned how to release the energetic charge from the sadness. Like for me, I just went through a horrific life experience with a toxic boyfriend, and I have gratitude for him. Even though he was abusive, even though he makes false accusations, even though he tries to get a rise out of me, I forgive him for what he doesn't know. And I just, God bless you and thank you, because I cleared up one of the biggest beliefs for myself, because I did theta healing on myself, and I'll share this with you. The belief was that I'm bound and powerless in my relationships, in my intimate relationships with men. I had that program and that belief within my subconscious mind, so it was playing out in all of my relationships. And so when I reflected back, I'm like, yeah, it was like that in all of my relationships on some level. They were just different stories, but on the same level, that's what it was. And that's a genetic belief and a historical belief within women's DNA. Once we get married, what happens? They become property. Do as I say. Not too long ago, women could, and even still in some parts of the world, once they're married, the man has the say-so of everything.
So is that how it was in your previous relationships, that you were repeating the same pattern, and it wasn't until you actually did theta healing on yourself that you realized, like, the issue is within me, is not with these other people, that I am allowing to be part of these relationships, and I get myself into these situations.
Yes, exactly. So every time I went back, I was like, okay, there's more for me to learn. But it took all of the accumulation of things that happened to really reach this point where I was like, okay, and I finally got it, because that's a huge belief to clear up. So now I'm like, you know what, God bless you and thank you. I walked away with something. I walked away with more than anything anybody could ever offer me. I cleared that belief so that way my daughters don't have to repeat that in their life. And you know what?
That's so important.
And this is the other thing too with theta healing, is you can clear up any mom guilt that you have for exposing your children to these narcissistic men or toxic relationships, because listen, when you know better, you do better. And we're all going through this, we're going through life, and it's an experience. So we're gonna go through some hiccups. We're gonna go through some, things that are not so desirable, but how are you handling it? My daughters are watching me well, the little one's still little, but my 11-year-old's watching me handle some crazy stuff. She's been through everything with me, and she's just, she's so resilient, and I have no fear, I have no doubts that this little girl will know how to like handle and take care of herself in a very respectful, but in a very connected way as well.
Do moms who go through trauma and abuse, do they have guilt about putting their children through these relationships?
Oh, I did myself. I have to still do my healing work. I had to come back and do so much healing work. I still do certain things. So when there's like a trigger in my mind about, I can't believe I exposed my daughters, I can't believe I stayed here, there was a red flag here, red flag there, why I should have left then and not now, all those coulda, shoulda, wouldas, then I had to go back and do the belief work on myself to clear that up. And so women, a lot of times women, we need to be able to heal that within ourselves, so that way we can, be connected to our own intuition, so we can continue to guide these children, because they need us, and women need to be connected to their bodies and their minds and their hearts simultaneously, so we could make the right choices and decisions for our family.
You're the second person, and I'm so grateful for you, by the way, to share this and be so open. I'm so grateful when people get in my car, and I mean, we're literally on the strip in Las Vegas. This is crazy. We're on the strip in Las Vegas. So many things are going on, construction, parties, people, and yet here we are having some of the most intimate conversations that people open up. So I'm very grateful for that. And I had another guest, and she was talking to me about her abusive relationship with her boyfriend and the trauma that caused, and how she had to go live with her parents because she was completely broken and she didn't know how to, and she's already adult, and I'm thinking like, maybe this is more common, and hopefully this podcast and this allows the word to spread, because there might be so many more that are going through stuff, but they just keep it to themselves.
Oh yeah, let me tell you, because this is something I want to bring up as well, is financial abuse. So many moms have messaged me saying, I'm a stay-at-home mom, my husband came home and he's like, I want a divorce. Oh, don't worry, we could just split the bills 50-50 and we can get a divorce later since the kids are kind of young, but I'm already having an online relationship with someone else.
You've had people say that?
Yeah. This is a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
She doesn't have a job or working. She's taking care of her children. And then the guy, knucklehead comes and is like, yeah, well, here we go. It's not working anymore. And she doesn't have money for an attorney to go through the divorce and make sure she's protected or anything. And then for me, in my situation, my ex would like spend so much money on me, but like for Instagram props to make it look like he was doing so much, but in reality would make sure that I'm kind of like, I just have just enough so I don't leave. And
so he would tie you up financially, essentially.
Yeah, and like sabotage things all the time, but like post me online like he was really helping me with my business, but in reality I didn't have none of my payment processors were up. I kept having issues. Somebody kept claiming fraud on them. And I was like, this guy he was just doing psychological games constantly. And God bless you, because I'm good. And my whole life is like right here. I used to have that feeling when I first came to Vegas, by the way.
What?
Because like, oh my gosh, all the possibilities are endless. Look at
But they are.
I used to feel that way, but you don't feel that way when you're stuck in a toxic relationship. You feel so like dim.
But you do have a light in you, spirit and your purpose, and you can see that you naturally want to help other people.
Oh, hey.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
How often should people do colonic hydration cleanses?
I think that if you notice that, like if you're gonna start like a new diet or a routine or something, like I recommend going to get 2 colonics to begin any new, like let's say if somebody wants to come in and like, I need to change my lifestyle, I've been eating like, excuse my language, but like I've been eating like shit for so long, whatever.
Well, we're talking about colonics. We can talk about shit right now.
Yeah. So you go get a colonic to clear yourself out, and then start, introducing the right foods into your body so that way you can naturally process them. It's amazing. I love it.
So, are you trained? Did he train you to be so are you an expert?
Yeah.
I mean, not an expert.
I mean, I don't want.
But and you've done it multiple times?
Yeah.
Which way am I going now?
Just straight.
Got it. Do you do it for like? Is it like people that are 55 and over? Is it for people that
for
are
anyone, any age?
So I would benefit from doing one.
Yes,
so you're saying.
Of course. You would. Really.
You would do one for me.
Yeah. Do you want me to?
I don't think I want you to. No, I don't think that's the. I don't think you signed up for doing a colonic when you signed up for this podcast. You're like, wait, I'm reading the fine print.
Think about it. If you are spending money on taking supplements and taking herbal supplements, but if you're spending all this money on them and you're taking them and you're not even getting the full effect of it because you have a, backed up colon, what's the point?
You're so knowledgeable on so many layers, and there's a few things that I've been wanting to talk to, and this podcast is gonna have to have part 2 and part 3 and stuff because I'm going to my first Reiki session on Monday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice. I love
So you know what it is, obviously, but I don't know what to expect. So she is doing like a scalp massage treatment and then a Reiki session afterwards. And she just opened it up, and I am very excited. Oh my gosh, I wish I remember the name so I can give you a shout out. Carol, I'm gonna add it right now. But Carol, and I'll add it at some point in here. So I'm excited for that. So, by the time this airs, I would already have done probably multiple sessions on that.
That's awesome. That sounds so good.
So explain to me what Reiki is.
So Reiki is when they get like a certain attunements and they do the healing through the energy through their own hands, because you get attuned to use energy through your hands, which is amazing and it's great. But when you go up to, I want to tell all of the Reiki healers to go get theta certified, because when you learn theta, you connect up to the energy of creation, which is like you're not bound by any laws or any laws of any plane of existence. You go up straight up to the energy of creation, and that God creator does the healing. It's not going through you, it's going straight from God to that person. So
that's big.
So if a Reiki healer learns how to do theta, it'll be like Reiki on steroids.
Oh my god, the Cybertruck is following us again behind us. I told you, like, if he turns, I'm gonna shit. Okay, no. Oh my god, I was like, I'm already doing that tomorrow. Dude, so you can imagine, like, I can say this now, but I saw him. I'm obviously like looking around.
Yeah, I saw him.
The other person is on, like usually like in the podcast, but then I kept seeing following me, and I didn't want to be like, to the guest, hey, by the way, we're being followed for the last 45 minutes. Like, it's just so weird. So there's so many things that I have to do at the same time. Follow up the conversation, look at the traffic, if any people are following us. So, anyways, this guy just kept going straight. Guy or gal. Okay, so we're here again.
Yes.
And we're actually gonna go do a mini theta session, or what is it that we're doing? Or he's gonna read my tell me what to expect.
Okay, so what he can do, he can test your chakras and see what chakra you have that's open or closed. I'll have
right
him
now?
do that. Yeah, it'll be fun.
Wait, I need to give him money, right?
Yeah, I think it'll be good. That's very nice and kind of you.
I mean, he's definitely doing service, and I think everybody should be compensated for whatever they do. All right, Angie, say bye to.
Bye. We'll be back.
If I come back and I'm healing and I'm
gonna be on
I'm like floating, a little halo. Ciao. We were talking at the beginning, like, something's gonna happen that we don't know what random thing is. Like, this is it. This is it. Like, I didn't know I was gonna come out with a colonics appointment, and they were gonna read my chakras, and I was like, oh my god. So that's what I love about this. Like, an hour ago we were sipping on Starbucks, and and now this is happening, and look, it's finally like dark out and it's beautiful here on the strip. But one of the things that I was listening to him is that there's a business component to this, and so part of the podcast is like we talk about the experience, and then we talk about like the business aspect of whatever it is, and he's talking about like he's been teaching theta healing for 25 years. And how does someone get the word out? Because he doesn't want to do social media. So what do you have to say about that?
Well, I think, social media was, even the phones for him is a lot. I don't even think he has an iPhone.
Yeah, it took a few times for him to answer the phone.
But you have to be able to adapt. That's part of evolution, is adapting. And you know what it is as well? It's like you need to be around people who genuinely support you. Oh, Phantom Blue, I haven't seen it yet.
What is it?
I haven't seen the Phantom Blue yet.
Should we go in there? I'm just kidding. I'm gonna start making stops every time.
Let's go there.
I love it. It's beautiful. You've never seen it?
No.
Do you want to go see it?
Right now?
I don't know.
Maybe next time.
I like it when it's like not so hot. So during the day, like during at night, it just looks. Vegas is beautiful at night. Like it's just.
Even like when we were pulling up to Chris's, like the sun on the rocks.
Yeah, you called it.
It looked so beautiful. It looked like a postcard.
You know what that made me realize about you? That now you have a filter for looking for the positive, because right in front of us was a gate with construction and like a little thing like
a homeless camp.
A homeless camp. But then you were seeing what's beyond that. You were seeing like, look how beautiful the mountains look. And I can't tell, like if I bring 10 people to that same spot, 9 out of 10 will be like, oh my god, it smells like shit here, piss in here, or it'll like, it's dirty, like what are we doing here? But as soon as we got out of the car, the first thing that came out of your mouth was like, look how beautiful the mountains are. And I was like, I love that. Most people are focusing on the negative and they don't see the natural beauty of the creator. Right. And I was taking mental notes, like that's it. That's a good way to look at life. Like it's not just half full, it's like half and the foam and everything almost to the top.
I have to tell you the story.
What is it? Uh-oh.
So Chris, he's like, Angie, I'm done with this colonic business. You want it? You can have it. You should have it. Just take it. I don't want it, right? Because he's over colonics.
This was just now?
No, this was like a couple years.
Not when I was in the bathroom,
No,
right?
this was a couple years.
Preparing for my colonics. I'm just kidding, no.
This is a couple years ago.
Okay.
And I was like, I don't know. I was like, no, I don't know, because it's not necessarily like I don't want to do colonics. There was other things going on in my life that I was a little more interested and passionate about. But he was like trying to talk me into it. We go back to the office, and there was like a bum like just shit all over the back door. And then I was like, no, thank you.
He didn't even make it to the process.
Yeah, so I was like, man. But the thing is, this place, there are, it's not like the best part of Vegas. It's like just right off the strip, and there are like little homeless little campgrounds there. But you know what I love about that place is the healing that takes place. Like when you are connected up to the energy of creation and you're doing these healings on somebody's soul, like all of that you don't notice it. You don't even realize it's there. You're just realizing the beauty of the healing and so feeling that God energy.
The outside is not what's important. It's really the inner work.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where it is. I mean, from the outside, someone coming in for the first time, I didn't know where we were heading, so I'm just following along. But then once you walked inside, it had like the little music, and it was very beautiful. And then I saw where you got your MBS right there from the logo, Mind, Body, and Soul. Yeah. He had it on his thing.
Yeah.
Have you been to Resorts World?
Yeah, I've been to Resorts World.
Okay. Have you been to
Tacos?
The Love Store? Tacos El Gordo? Have you been to Tacos El Gordo?
I love tacos.
You know they're from TJ.
Yeah, I know. I used to go to TJ, go to the
Me too. The OG. Hell yeah. And then when they moved to Chula Vista, I was like, yes, I don't have to drive all the way from San Diego to Tacos El Gordo.
Same.
And then they brought them to Vegas. I was like, yes, I don't have to go now to SoCal to get some tacos.
Same.
I've had them a couple of times, and the line is always so busy, but they're amazing. It's worth it.
There's another one right here by the Starbucks where we meet up. Right off.
There's no Tacos El Gordo?
Yeah, right across from Town Square.
Are we gonna do it?
Yeah, we could do it. I love tacos always.
Yeah, I like Pastor. Well, Tacos El Gordo, yeah, they're awesome.
The pastor?
That's what I do.
I like the adobada.
Tostadas. Well, that's adobada. That's what pastor is, isn't it? I think so.
It's a different seasoning.
Oh, well, I get them and I do the tostada. guacamole. It's awesome.
So going back to like, just, you know what, having God's understanding of humility, so you can really see things for like what they are. What is it on like the soul level of what's going on? I was living in a $24 million mansion on Venetian Island, and there were so many times where I couldn't even notice the beauty of the area, the home, or anything else, because my soul was not at peace. And it's not that I was ungrateful, it's just it was missing that God energy, like that connection. And
God-shaped hole.
I could feel like I felt more of a connection with you, both of you guys, in this, 1100 Sahara little corner.
In the bump encampment.
Yeah. In the encampment, the homeless
then
encampment.
in a mansion,
but
penthouse.
I felt so connected. I felt the God energy. I felt us all like there, just having so much humility and connection with each other, and that was beautiful to me.
It is. It brings that kind of peace that it's hard to describe until you
experience it.
You experience it. When I climbed the mountain, so I don't know if I've shared this. I've climbed Kilimanjaro, but I'm not a climber. But when you get to the top, you can only be there for like a few minutes. You can't just like hang out and have coffee. Like you just go there, take your picture, and come back down. And they're like, well, all those, it takes 4 days to get to the summit, and like a long time to train. At least for someone who's unskilled like myself. But anyways, like the point is like, and then you're just there, and then when you come back, like, well, how is it? It's like, it's hard to explain until you've actually done it. Like, you can read about it, you can watch a video on YouTube of someone climbing the mountain, this and that, but until you experience it. And so when someone's talking about this healing or this connection with God, like, maybe they could read it, but if they haven't had the experience, the actual spiritual experience, the connection, it's hard to describe it. And to me, it just has to do with peace, like this serenity that comes along, that no matter where you are, you're gonna be okay. That's kind of the easiest.
You feel God's unconditional love for you. Unconditional
love. So there's a book called The Proof of Heaven. Have I told you about this? I don't know if. So it was about a doctor Harvard doctor, surgeon, brain surgeon, and then his dad was a brain surgeon, and so he's all scientific, and there's nothing about God, and they were complete, atheist. And anyways, like, he would have people on his, on his operating room die, and then come back, and then they would be like, I experienced God, and he'd be like, you didn't, you were in a coma, you were this, you're not. Well, he gets this completely severe and extremely rare virus attack his brain, and he goes in a coma for like 10 days or something. And the day that they're gonna pull the plug, his son, the day after, he's brain dead. He's been brain dead for 10 days. Even if he were to come back alive, he can't do anything. Well, now he's a speaker about all this and everything, and they're tying everything together. He talks about how he learned that when you go up to the other dimension, to the other world, you experience like unconditional love, and that is the whole essence of the entire book. He said, like, this life right here is not the real one. Like, the other life is when you experience like ultra colors, you experience the peace, ultra joy, there's no pain. And he's like, that is the real life. That's when I lost fear for death, because I know that this is the temporary one, that is the good one. And when you hear it from somebody, it's fine. But when you hear it from someone who has died and came back, that means something else. When you hear it from someone who has died, came back, who was actually an operating brain surgeon, doctor, who was anti this, and now completely resigned to, kind of his medical field, and now dedicates his life to talking about this. If you've never read it, you have to. I think it's an awesome book. I remember someone recommended it to me years ago. Proof of Heaven. And that, those two words, unconditional love. That's
it stuck with you.
Spoiled. I spoiled the book for you guys, everybody. But it's so good to read it from somebody with his point of view. It's been a couple years since I read it again. Some books I reread them because they mean something else every time I read them.
Yeah.
Because I'm changing.
Yeah.
Does that happen to you?
Yes. that happens to me, and that happens to me even when I do theta healing. Like every seminar that I do, it's like reading a really good book. I get more out of it because I've grown my levels of my consciousness. I have a new awareness. So when I read it back, it's like two people having a different experience. You're not the same person you were back then when you read it. So you're going to read that book again and have a different experience.
Oof, give me goosebumps. That's absolutely true.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love it. But you guys can experience what that unconditional love feels like if I do a meditation with you. It will happen instantly.
So tell us about that. Tell them.
So it's a meditation, a guided meditation that connects you to Mother Earth. You align all of your energy and imagine like a beam shooting up from the center of Mother Earth, going up your body, through your crown chakra and up past different planes of existence until you reach that sparkly white light energy of creation. And when you're in that state, you will feel it. Like everybody, when they open their eyes, they're like, it's like you just had the best sleep. It's really cool to see it.
What's that process? 20 minutes, 2 hours,
no,
depending on the
literally
person?
Like 2 minutes.
You get them at that level in just 2 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, it's practice. Sometimes you have to like visualize what it is. Like visualization skills are so important. So you have to imagine what it might look like and feel like, but it'll happen instantly. And the more that you do this meditation, the deeper you go into theta.
Do you practice this on a daily basis?
Yes. Well, so talking about being spiritually dehydrated, remember? I was saying that earlier. It's just that sometimes when you are so dysregulated, like your nervous system's dysregulated because of the people you're with or whatever, it was so hard for me to really do all the belief work in my practices. It's like theta healing is a part of me because I love it, I live it, right? But I wasn't doing all the practices. Like I was forgetting to do certain things, like clearing my chakras or clearing my energy, because when you are around somebody who is angry or they're motivated by anger or they do things like that, they become an energetic match to lower vibrations and entities that attach themselves to them. So if you're clearing yourself and you're having relations with this person, that energy comes onto you. And I'm very energy sensitive, so I had to continue to clear myself. But there's been times where I'm just so tired.
And it overwhelms you.
And I was
like
overwhelmed. And I forget all of the tools that I have sometimes because I'm so overwhelmed.
Have you seen the volcano?
I thought they were taking the Mirage out.
They are. This is one of the last sightings of the Mirage. They're building the hard rock right here. How cool is it gonna be? We're gonna have a big ass guitar in the middle of the strip.
I like it.
It's gonna be awesome.
It's been so many years. I walked up and down this strip twice.
Dude, you that's it?
Just twice.
You have only gone twice up and down the strip? We're getting out right here. We're starting walking. We gotta be tourists in our city because this is a beautiful town. Vegas, when you first moved to Vegas, why did you move to Vegas? What was...
Oh, this is gonna be fun. I moved to Vegas because it was adult Disneyland.
Yeah, wait, I see that. That's my line. Oh my god. I always like, where do you guys live? Where do you live? And I say like Disneyland for adults.
Yeah.
And like Las Vegas.
Las Vegas.
Oh my god.
So
we're in sync.
Yes, we're in alignment. I like it.
Me too.
So I was actually a dancer.
You danced here in Vegas?
Yeah, I danced here in Vegas for like 7-8 years. And,
How old were you?
21.
Oh, you just turned 21.
I was just 21 and I came out here. Like I used to work in San Diego at a sports bar in San Diego, and the girls were like, "You need to go work in Vegas." And
Did you make good moolah?
Yeah, my first night I was like, because at first I thought it was like so bad and whatever. I was like, I can't ever do that. Nobody's gonna respect me or want to be with me if I was a dancer. They were like, listen, you're a mom. Oh my god. You're like, oh my god.
I'm like a child. Yay, the volcano in Las Vegas.
Oh my gosh, I can feel the heat from here from the fire. That's crazy.
Right? What do you have to say about that, Angie?
That was amazing.
Oh, you do feel it, huh?
You can feel the heat from that. That's crazy.
Is it okay if we talk about that?
Yes, of course.
So you were a dancer at what place?
I was a dancer at Spearmint right now.
Oh, isn't that like the most popular here?
Yeah.
Well, you just got into the best one?
Yeah. I was some of the older. There was like an older woman who was a dancer in San Diego, and she's like, "Come on, let's go show you the ropes." I was like, "Okay."
What was your first night like?
I made like $3,800.
Get out.
And I like started at like 2 in the morning and home at 6, and I would just remember going
In 4
home.
hours?
Yeah.
You made almost $4,000 in 4 hours, like $1,000 an hour.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I went home and I was like, oh my gosh, I went to sleep with like a smile on my face. I was like, I'm gonna take care of my family, I'm gonna do all these things. It was great.
Why'd you stop?
Well, you grow, you evolve, times change, things change. But yeah, now it's like I've grown and evolved, whereas I'm just no longer an energetic match to it at all anymore.
That's such a great answer.
I stopped drinking and partying and doing everything like many years ago. And the more I was like growing and evolving spiritually, the more it wasn't in alignment. But even though I was in that industry, I was meeting a lot of people I was meeting like-minded people, like people who were like an energetic match, to where like they had like respect. They know it wasn't like just some like weird situation. But
do you still get along with people that you used to work with?
Yeah, one of my best friends ever. We used to dance together. We used to dance, and then back when I used to drink, we're like, oh, we're done working early, let's go to Dre's after hours. We would go to Dre's after hours and get a table all by ourselves.
Just you and your friend?
And we would just dance in the mirror, and then anybody would come around, we're like, yeah, we'd have security be like, no, get him out. And we were just dancing on each other. It was so fun. Those were like, it was fun.
It was fun when you have that kind of relation with somebody. Does she still work there?
No, she doesn't work there anymore. Yeah.
Do you know anyone that still works there?
Probably. I just don't keep in contact because there's just nothing really in alignment anymore.
Do you ever want to be like, talk to somebody, be like, hey, let me show you this new path, like you don't have to continue there after a while? Because I could see how some people could get attracted so much to the money.
Yeah.
Or the attention. Or
I think everyone has to go through their process. When you're ready, you're ready. I think instead of telling them, let me show you a new path, I'm like, what interests you? What do you want to do? Because I know so many beautiful women that are in like the nightlife, and they have the most beautiful souls and so much to offer, but it's like the money is the issue. They need to find a way to make money. But if they find what they're passionate about and they learn how to monetize it, they would kill it and do so amazing and help like change so many people's lives.
Doing something else.
Yeah.
What's the most money you've made in one night dancing in Las Vegas?
I don't know.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
More than 10,000?
Yeah.
In one night?
Yeah.
Give me a range. I wanted to hear this.
Well, around like 15,000 probably. But I've made a lot of money like gambling. I've gone gambling before, and I like would make money and go gamble.
Yeah? Wait, what was the most money you made gambling here in Las Vegas?
When we were passing by Mirage, when I see that, I was like, that's where I made like $30,000 off of 2,000.
Yeah.
I was playing craps.
And you made 30 grand out of 2,000?
Yeah, and I was like,
that's a lucky.
So cool.
Yeah.
I gave each of the girls that was with me 5 grand, and I just went home.
Wow, you gave 5 grand out of your. That's very generous.
Yeah, I know. I was so generous.
Very generous of you. You're a great friend.
Yeah, I was probably drunk. I was
Yeah.
probably well, you know what? If they don't know how to gamble, and I'm sitting here,
I don't know how to do craps.
I started with $2,000.
Wow.
Even this guy, I gave him $1,000. I was like, shut up and walk away because your energy is shit. Get out.
Since then you're already feeling energy.
Of course.
I love that. I love that. What's your favorite hotel in Las Vegas?
I think I like the Encore, the Wynn.
It is the most beautiful.
Yeah.
It is the nicest.
What about you?
The area where the Cosmopolitan and the Aria, like,
oh yeah,
just walking to the area is just strikingly beautiful. Like, you just see it and it's magnificent. And so I really do like the Cosmopolitan. I do like Resorts World a lot. I go there a lot to Resorts World. And Fontainebleau right now that it just opened, it's very beautiful, but it's not as busy, unfortunately.
Fontainebleau?
Yeah, for them, it's just not as busy.
I think it's just the location of the Hotel.
In your business, how did you first start getting the word out that you were doing this?
Theta healing? Well, I started doing theta healing about 6 years ago. And I didn't go to like be an instructor or to even do sessions. I just went for personal development. But then I was teaching classes, or I was in classes with Chris, who's my instructor, and he was like, do you want to do this? I'm tired of doing the basic stuff. And then he was getting a little frustrated, and I was like, you know what, I should do it because I can teach them. I'm not frustrated. This is new to me and I'll love it. So I went and I ended up doing my my instructor training, and I would meet girls here and there, and then I like picked up a client, my first paying theta healing client.
Tell me about your first theta paying client.
Well, she was my first like consistent woman. I did my first paid theta healing client. It was like $300 for an hour. It was some poker player who had an addiction to gambling, and he wanted to get rid of it.
Did you do it right there while he was gambling?
In Vegas, but yeah. So we had to clear that out of his space and like why he was doing that. It was fulfilling a need.
$300 an hour is very good.
Yeah, that was pretty. Well, yeah, that was good. But that was amazing. That's great. But for me, I really love when I can like build like a connection relationship with someone and see like all the beautiful things that they create, because I teach them how to do it. It's not like I teach them how to connect up to the energy of creation, to create for themselves, to clear themselves. So it's like you're still learning things that you could take with you as you're doing a theta healing session. It's not like I know everything, you just come, have a service, and leave. You're learning something that you could take with you for the rest of your life if you apply it.
That's the beautiful thing about helping another person, is that you share with them your experience, you pass that on to them, you give them your strength, and then they can apply it themselves. And then you think you're only helping that one person, but then that person can help one or two other people, or even their inner circle gets helped because of their...
Well, the thing that I love the most about theta healing was that it's not competition, it's collaboration. Like, if you were to learn the same exact thing that I'm teaching, the people that you could reach are going to hear you different than if they were to hear it from me. They might gravitate towards you saying the same exact thing, and vice versa. But it's... Do you
think I could be a theta teacher, a theta healing teacher?
Yeah, of course you can. But it's with anything. Certain people are gonna resonate with you a little bit more than they would me, but either way, when you have something so valuable that each soul really needs, it doesn't matter, as long as that information is getting out to whoever really needs it.
What about, does it take a toll on you hearing the difficult things that other women have gone through, the pain in their hearts? Does that make it difficult to bear that and take it away from them?
No way. There's no, like, the craziest stories that you can hear, it's like you're gonna hear them and acknowledge them, but we're doing the healing, so we're seeing the other side of it. We're not just the result of it. Like, we can hear these crazy things, but when somebody can really release the energetic charge from the most traumatic things possible, that's what I get to witness. That's what we witness together.
La banda. Eso.
I love it.
See, you've never been here in Las Vegas?
Not in a long time.
Oh my God, there's so
my
much going
bedtime
on.
is usually early.
Yeah, mine too. What time do you wake up?
Oh, it depends. Lately, I've just been resting as much as I can, because I was in a hyper-vigilant state in my relationship.
Someone knocking on you? What's going on?
You
You were not resting.
No.
Yeah.
So my nervous system was like in a constant state of fight or flight. So I feel like once I finally like rested at my house, I'm just like, my sleep schedule's a little bit off. So I'm just allowing myself to sleep in.
Tell me about reincarnation.
Reincarnation? I believe that we have past lives for sure, and that's why maybe certain life experiences are happening to you. Like, for instance, how I said earlier, I had the belief that I'm bound and powerless in my intimate relationships with men, right?
From previous lives, or from?
It could be in this lifetime, but when we do theta healing, we go back and we forgive ourselves for any lifetime, time frame, or dimension where I was ever the man who made a woman bound and powerless in an intimate relationship to me. So it's like you're clearing it out on both ends. And what lesson, what virtues is your soul learning by
I never thought about past lives in a different gender.
Yeah.
So you're saying that maybe you, in this life, this had to happen because at one point in the past you were on the other side.
Or what if that's a belief that my male ancestors had that passed on through my DNA as well? So it's just kind of clearing that out. And that's what I love about it, because it's beautiful. It's bringing humility. Like, listen, we're not always the victims. Maybe we were the ones doing, the wrong, or doing something that was less than desirable. So to be able to have humility and forgive ourselves for whenever we did that to others, and forgive them when they did it to me. And then moving forward, I know how to live my life in this way. You can create what it is that you want, how you want to live your life. And you want to make sure that you're aligning yourself with God energy and virtues. Because virtues is God energy. Because it comes down to unconditional love.
What was the point in your life when God entered your heart?
I always knew I always felt God there, but I didn't know how to pray. I didn't know how to connect. There were so many times like I would, go through things and just, be praying, but I didn't know how. And I was raised Catholic, but I didn't like the church. I felt like it didn't speak to me, but that's why I was always searching, because I could feel God energy, but I didn't really feel
connect with the religion.
Yeah, I didn't connect with it. So
are you religious now?
Yeah.
Or are you more spiritual?
I'm more spiritual, but I enjoy religions. I enjoy and I don't judge anyone for any religion. I think all religions are beautiful because they're a mode to reach God. And everybody is at a different level of development, spiritual development and awareness, and we all perceive things different. But if it takes them a certain religion to get there, to get to God, then good for their soul. God bless you. So, because for me, when people are like, and you know what I don't like is when people are just into religion and they just judge and criticize others. If somebody is not in alignment with your beliefs and your thought process, God bless you. Like, they're on their own journey, just bless them, send them blessings and keep it moving. But there's no reason to judge and criticize and do all that. Because
you keep saying sending blessings, and that's so great, because
that's what we have to do.
But most people don't understand that. They don't believe in the power of prayer. They don't believe in the power of a blessing. They want to take a pill for something. They want an injection for something. They don't believe that their heart can be healed with a prayer or a resentment.
Disease, cancer, all of it.
Ooh.
All of it. It's created by emotions. So
Tell me about that.
So let's say if you are heartbroken, or somebody's done some horrible things to you, or you can be so upset about it that it creates disease in your body to the point where you get cancer.
Joe Dispenza talks about the disease, like not being stressful, and that our body shouldn't be on stress constantly. But we're the only ones that have the capacity, human beings, to think back of something that happened to us in the past and relive that moment. And that creates an actual physical illness.
But when you find the learning and serving of why it happened and what you learned from it, that physiological response in your body changes, because now you have wisdom when you look back. It's not going to affect you when you find the learning and serving. You see what I'm saying? That's why theta healing is so important.